Hi there, my name is Emily Stockton, and this is my video reflection for the final project for Information 210 at San Jose State University. Today I will just be sharing a little bit about my story, why I have pursued a master's in the library and information science field, what has kind of inspired me to do so, and what I'm hoping to pursue after I graduate in this profession. So, to start out, I got my undergraduate degree in anthropology at Arizona State University, where I learned a lot more about different cultures, societies, and what information, what values, what beliefs are valued worldwide, and how it differs from individual to collective. I learned a lot about the information gaps that are very present and how there are different information gaps in different countries depending on what that society values and deems, quote unquote, their norms. And I have just been since then, very, very passionate about understanding what those information gaps are, why they exist, and how do we bridge those? How do we get people information that they need, want, desire? And I've just kind of found a passion in that. Me and myself, I really value learning. I love to learn. I love learning something new. And when I had first started out in my undergrad program, my initial drive was I just want to learn about other people. I want to learn more about the world and the people that surround me and support me. So that kind of turned into, wow, I see all of these people and how they support each other and what they do. And I still want to keep on learning. But how do I combine these two passions of nurturing my community and furthering my own education in a career for the rest of my life? So I had talked to a couple of, library professionals that I know in my personal life and picked their brain about what inspired them to get into library work and what inspired them to be involved in their communities. And I heard this similar passion of wanting to help people get the resources, education, information, materials, whatever they needed to be a better person in their own life, something that was rewarding to them, something that they wanted and needed, just to improve life in a very basic way. And I really found myself sharing that passion of wanting people to just access and have access to resources that meaningfully help them, right? So, for instance, at the Sacramento Public Library, they have a library of things, which I did not know about before going and volunteering with them, which is essentially a place where you can check out items instead of books. And it's a range of things. It's everything from Xboxes and PS4s all the way, to lawnmowers and, hedge clippers and things like that, that I had no idea I, as a Californian resident, had access to. Specifically in Sacramento County, what a great resource. You don't have to go buy a lawnmower if you're living in, a small area and you don't have storage for it. Just go down to your local library. And in turn, by checking these materials out from your local library, it helps the library put on more programs and get more materials because it is recognized as being used. So that's been one of my big passions, is letting people know that they have access to all these unique, cool things that I didn't know as just an everyday life goer before I got into libraries. So I've really started pursuing the master's degree of library and information sciences here at San Jose State University to bridge those information gaps and show people what amazing resources are available to them for free. And so, yeah, that's mainly why I'm pursuing this career pathway of outreach and engagement because I want to be involved in my community and I want to support them the way that my community has supported me. I've, been uplifted by friends, family, other information professionals that I've met at conferences, internships, and they have all really helped me grow as an information professional, but also just as a human being, understanding a different perspective on, a hot topic or a problem going on in the library world today, because those are relevant everyday problems. And it's really broadened my own perspective on how I view different communities and how I challenge my own biases to be a better person in this world. And I've seen myself grow a lot since I've been here. I've become more open-minded and more understanding of others and different situations and just how difficult life can be to live, and how a community and some kind of support can really elevate that experience. So I would say my biggest inspiration for even getting into this field was the volunteer coordinator at Sacramento Public Library, Leslie Godo. She really took me under her wing and was like, let me show you what libraries are all about. Let's get you on tours. Let's get you into my library volunteering. I'm so like, how do I put this? It is so amazing in the library world because you go and you tell a librarian or another information professional that you're interested in pursuing something and they light up. They are like, let me tell you all about it. And that's how I feel when I talk to people about my career path and my journey is let's get you started. How do you want to learn? Great. Come on along. I want to show you. So I really have to thank Leslie Godo for that, for showing me what that passion feels like and giving me the opportunity to look at all the great resources and special collections and books and materials that are offered at local public libraries. I did an internship at the California State Library, specifically in the Whitkin State Law Library, where I worked a lot on providing materials that would be more accessible to the public. So I worked a lot on digitizing legislative materials like the Senate bills, assembly legislation, all of that stuff from the 1860s onward. And I got to, directly learn how to digitize materials, but then also how do you make them accessible online once they are digitized. So transcribing, making sure everything is ADA compliant, that was really rewarding. But I also found, even though you put these materials online and they are digitized, not everybody knows that they're going to be there. So you have to, A, let people know that they're there, but B, you have to tell them how to get there. So when I was at the Whitkin State Law Library, I produced a resource guide to help people navigate accessing state national park laws. How did our state parks, how did that come to be? What does that look like? And, maybe if you wanted to start your own national or state park, what would that look like? And what laws and procedures do you need to follow? And how do you access that information through our library? So that was a really awesome way to, not only showcase to the public what I've been working on, but also it gave me the opportunity to explicitly outline like a reference guide, a resource guide, how to access information. And that was a really cool experience as well. So I got to see the behind the scenes effort of, outreach itself. So as I continue pursuing this career pathway, I'm really looking to do a lot of community-centered work. I want to be directly engaging with my community. So I feel that will lead me to a path of outreach services or community engagement services, things like that. However, since working at the Whitkin State Law Library, I have found an immense passion for working with special collections because I love the ability to share with somebody else this niche piece of information that you wouldn't have thought of before. And not only do I get excited about odd little bits of information, but I get really excited to share that with people because then they go, oh my gosh, I didn't know that that was a thing. So I would really love to be doing something outreach wise in a special collection itself. So maybe that is, part of marketing or social media for a specific special collection, museum, anything like that. I'm really just hoping to get into archival work. I've realized I really love it, but I want to keep that community engagement component because I really value connecting and talking with people about anything. So that's a little bit about me and, my journey through this MLIS program, which I have truly valued and loved because it's just shown me so much more about myself and so much more about the communities that make up the world around me. And I want to be able to provide more diverse stories and more materials that anybody can engage with to learn not only more about themselves, but about the people in the world around them. And, kind of pop this information bubble people get stuck in of, well, this is immediately what I see, so this is immediately what I know, and I'm not going to expand my thinking. I think taking the time to truly expand that thinking is what life is all about. Engaging with people you've never met or, share a different perspective because I am constantly learning about new perspectives. And every time I hear them, at first I'm a little apprehensive. I'm like, ooh, that's a big change. But then I'm like, wait a minute, no, I never thought of that. How cool is that idea? Or, ooh, I've got another idea that builds on that I didn't even know I was thinking about. So I just kind of want to share that passion with everybody else and give them the opportunity to engage with anything. And I sincerely appreciate this opportunity of the video reflection to give me the chance to kind of reflect over what I've been doing since joining this master's program, and then kind of set a goal of what I'd like for the future. Especially since I am graduating this December, it kind of solidifies my focus and what I'm passionate about and what I want to kind of put out into the world after I graduate. So thank you for this opportunity and thank you for taking the time to watch. I hope you enjoyed it and I'm glad to be a part of this journey with you. Thank you.